Welcome back to MADMAN Review. Have you ever wondered which of Glock's 9mm compact and full-size pistols is the best? With a bunch of different models out there, it's super easy to get tangled up in all the technical details and features. But don't sweat it, we're here to help you out. We're not just talking about any random Glocks. We're focusing on 4 of the most popular 9mm pistol models that Gaston Glock has brought to the table. In this video, we're jumping into a hot topic that both hardcore Glock fans and beginners are curious about: picking the right Glock from the Glock 17, Glock 19, Glock 45, and Glock 47. Whether you're a die-hard Second Amendment supporter or just starting to explore the world of firearms, this video's got you covered. Glock 17. So, the Glock 17 and we go way back to 1982. It's been around the block, and being one of the old guards isn't easy these days. The world's moved on to those micro compacts packing 10 rounds or more, leaving full-size handguns like the Glock 17 in the dust. Yet, it's not going extinct anytime soon. Sure, this SIG P365 kicked off a frenzy for micro compacts, but there's still a ton of love for the Glock 17. It's back in the spotlight, thanks to its Austrian military roots and the cool comeback as the Glock P80. This joint gig between Glock Austria and Lipsies is a spitting image of the original Glock 17, and it's got people talking. Amid all those Glock lookalikes, what makes this throwback stand out? For one, it has a big audience. LEOs and civilians alike who love the nostalgic vibe. Second, it is pretty much a legend thanks to its bulletproof reliability and Gaston's bold move to use polymer. But let's be real, with the Glock 47, which we'll chat about in a bit, the practicality of buying a Glock 17 is now questionable. Glock 19. The Glock 19 is a real classic and is Gaston's top milking cow for a good reason. It's the Swiss Army knife of handguns. Versatile enough for just about anything, it's the perfect compact handgun for anyone wanting a concealed carry that's guaranteed to perform reliably, no matter the situation. With a standard 15-round mag, the Glock 19 has enough ammo to handle self-defense situations without breaking a sweat. Plus, with an MSRP of $620, it won't empty your wallet to get one. Selling for around $600, the Glock 19 Gen 5 sports a 4.02-inch marksman barrel, hitting that sweet spot between accuracy and maneuverability. It's light too, weighing in at just 23.63 ounces empty, so carrying it all day is a breeze, with no worries about it weighing you down. When it comes to staying under the radar, the Glock 19's size is just right. It's 7.36 inches long, 1.26 inches wide, and 5.04 inches tall with a mag in, making it easy to conceal but still comfortable to handle. The trigger pull is 6.29 pounds. It's a bit soft, but still lets you shoot accurately. All in all, the Glock 19 is a solid, reliable compact pistol that's a great fit for a wide range of users. Nails the balance between reliability, performance, and being easy to hide. If you're looking for a compact pistol that ticks all the boxes, the Glock 19 is a smart pick. Glock 45. If you're not familiar with the Glock 19X, it's the first crossover in Gaston's pistol lineup, merging the full-size frame of the Glock 17 and the compact slide of the Glock 19. This combo nails it in terms of capacity and ease of handling, though it does come with a higher price tag of about $700. The Glock 19X comes standard with a 17-round capacity, but it's also cool with mags from other Glock models of similar size. This gives you some nice flexibility in terms of ammo capacity. The 19X hit the scene in 2018, born out of Glock's bid for the U.S. military's XM-17 modular handgun system competition. Now, The Glock 45 is in the same family as the 19X, blending a Glock 19 slide with a Glock 17 frame. It's also in the $700 ballpark, but it's got its own unique features. For starters, the Glock 45 supports an NDLC, nano diamond light carbon finish, which ups the ante on corrosion and wear resistance. On the flip side, the 19X goes for a PVD, physical vapor deposition finish. As a Gen 5 Glock, the 45 comes with a flared and beveled magwell, making magazine changes a breeze. This design really smooths out the reload process. Another cool feature on the Glock 45 is the front slide charging serrations. These give you a better grip and control when you're loading, reloading, and clearing the weapon. A real plus for handling. And here's where the Glock 45 edges out the 19X. It doesn't have that lip on the frame that limits the use of Gen 5 mags with front curved base plates. This means you've got more options for mags, which bumps up its versatility a notch. Glock 47. The Glock 47 is sort of the wild card in the Glock lineup, kind of a Frankenstein creation. It borrows bits and pieces from its siblings. You've got elements of the Glock 19 or 45 in its frame, but it also rocks the full-size grip of the classic Glock 17. And the cherry on top, it's got a slide and barrel identical in size to the Glock 17. The twist is that the slide ring had to be tweaked to accommodate the longer guide rod that fits in the Glock 45 size frame. Basically, it's a doppelganger of the Glock 17, a full-size pistol with a 17-round magazine. But unlike the Glock 17, which isn't down for swapping parts with the Glock 19 slide, frame, and barrel, the Glock 47 is all about that interchangeability. Now, you might be wondering, is the Glock 47 just an unnecessary duplicate? Well, Gaston created it for a specific reason. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, asked for a full-size Glock that can swap parts with the Glock 19. The CBP also uses Glock 19s, so this move makes a lot of sense for parts commonality. But here's the kicker. The Glock 47 isn't as easy on the wallet as the Glock 17, coming in at a pretty steep $745. And for that price, you're getting a pistol with plastic sights, plastic mags, and a trigger that's heavy yet kind of mushy. So $745 seems a bit much for that. All right, we've taken a deep dive into each model. Now let's stack them against each other for some quick comparisons. Glock 19 versus Glock 17. When it comes to picking a Glock, the 19 and the 17 are like the big leagues of Gaston's Tupperware pistols. The main thing setting them apart are their size and how much ammo they hold. The Glock 19 is great for folks with smaller hands or anyone looking for something easier to conceal. Its compact frame makes it a prime choice for concealed carry. With a 15+1 capacity, hits that sweet spot for a lot of people. But since it's more compact, you might feel a bit more kick when you shoot. It's totally manageable, but it's something to think about, especially if you're used to bigger models. I've got a bunch of female shooter buddies who swear by the Glock 19 because it just fits better in their hands. Now, let's chat about the Glock 17. This one's the full-size big brother. It packs a 17+1 capacity, a bit heftier, and gives you more grip onto, which is awesome for folks with larger hands or if you just like the feel of more gun in your hand. It's a hit with law enforcement and a regular in-action flick, so you've probably seen it in action before. The bigger grip and longer sightline mean it's super steady to shoot and easier to aim, especially for those of us with average-size hands. So which one's the right pick for you? It boils down to what you're after in a pistol. If you're all about staying low-key and want something compact, the Glock 19 is a stellar pick. But if you're a bit more bulk and don't mind the larger size, the Glock 17 could be your match. Both are top-notch choices, but these days, grabbing a Glock 17 might not be the move. Why is that, you ask? Glock 17 versus Glock 47. So you're eyeing a full-size Glock and aren't shy about dropping around $750. Then the Glock 47 is your guy. Just makes more sense, especially if you can find a deal for like $650 or less. It's basically everything the Glock 17 was meant to be, just with a heftier price tag. Now, the Glock 17, it's rock solid, reliable, goes for around $600, but here's the catch. When it first came out, nobody expected the Glock 19 would be a runaway success, so the Glock 17 wasn't designed to swap slides, frames, or barrels with a 19. But if you pair a Glock 19 with a Glock 47, you're pretty much rocking 4 different Glocks in one. And that's where the Glock 47 steals the spotlight from the Glock 17. When you think about it, the 47 kind of makes the 17 unnecessary. But hold up, the Glock 47 isn't without its flaws. We're still talking plastic sights here. They do the job, sure, but for a $750 gun, we should be getting something a bit nicer. And that trigger still got that mushy feel, which is a head-scratcher considering Gaston's big talk about the Gen 5 trigger being the game changer. Speaking of Gen 5, the Glock 47 is part of that family. These Gen 5 pistols roll out with over 20 upgrades from the Gen 4, including the Glock Marksman's Barrel, NDLC finish, an ambidextrous slide stop lever, no finger grooves, and a flared magwell. All these tweaks mean better accuracy, durability, performance, control, and versatility, whether you're at the range or in those split-second situations. Also, the Glock 47 comes ready for red dot action with a factory MOS configuration. It's set for mounting optics from Trijicon, Ameriglow, and Holosun. Not just the Holosun 509. With all its packing, the only reason to opt for a Glock 17 is if you're watching your wallet closely. Glock 45 versus Glock 19. Again, the Glock 45 is a hybrid that combines the compact slide of the Glock 19 with the full-size grip of the Glock 17. This makes it a quirky pistol that's tougher to hide than the Glock 19 because of its bigger grip, but has the upside of a full-size grip with room for 2 extra rounds in the mag. Both the Glock 19 and 45 are from the Gen 5 family, which means they're decked out with all the latest Glock upgrades. But the Glock 45 has a slight edge with newer features like front slide serrations and a flared magwell, which is handy in high-pressure situations. So, if you're torn between the Glock 19 and Glock 45, which one do you pick? Honestly, you might want to skip the Glock 45 altogether. If you've got a Glock 19, just grab some Glock 17 mags and X-grip extenders. That way, you can beef up your Glock 19 to hold 17 rounds, which is essentially what the Glock 45 offers. Those X-grip adapters really make the Glock 45 seem pointless. And it gets better for the Glock 19. If you're into playing around with different configurations, you can get a Glock 19 and maybe later pick up a Glock 47, swap the slide and barrel from your Glock 19 onto the Glock 47 frame, and bam, you've got a Glock 45. Or flip it around, put the Glock 47 slide and barrel on the Glock 19 frame, you've got what's essentially a long slide Glock 19, aka Glock 49. And no, I'm not making that up. All this part swapping goes to show that Glock's made it easy for us to mix and match pistol parts like Lego bricks.